Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Cooking with Bobby. Today my special guest star is Alex Smith. So, what are we going to be cooking today, Alex?
Today we're going to be cooking roast duck in red wine sauce.
Okay, so what are we going to need for roast duck legs in red wine sauce?
Right, well first of all we're going to need the duck legs. To make the sauce you're going to want a red currant jelly, which we're going to mix with a bit of wine. We're going to want to cook potatoes to go with it. We're also going to use thyme and we're going to use garlic. I bought organic, but quite frankly it doesn't matter. We're going to finish off powdering the duck with Chinese 5-spice. And then we're going to finish it off with some oil and some salt.
Okay, so you've mentioned red wine. Do you have a special unveil for what wine we're going to be using?
I do. Today, Bobby, I've decided to buy us a Cabernet Sauvignon.
So, let's get started cooking. What are we going to need to start with?
We're going to start with the potatoes because they take ages.
Right, so shall we open the bag?
Yep, I'm going to put some water in the kettle.
So I've taken out sort of 4 each. Is that sort of the amount of potatoes you'd expect? Or
4 of this size would be about right.
Okay, so how are you going to go about peeling? You just...
What we're going to do, I'm going to sort of cut them into about the same size pieces, and then I'm going to start taking the skin off. There's lots of ways of doing it. You can do hard chunks, but you lose quite a big amount of potato.
If I've got some like odd chunks of my potato, do I just want to carve them out?
If I go inside, it'll probably be a bit black. That's a little bit dull, so you don't want anything like that. We're going to chuck them on this pan.
Okay, so we're going to add a bit of butter as well. How big a knob would you like?
Just the right size knob for the job.
Knob for the job? Is that a knob for the job?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Right, we'll put that in there.
And we sort of leave that on to boil for about 10-20 minutes?
You can expect it to be about half an hour plus. Right, so we're going to get rid of these. Right, we're going to go and start the duck. Duck's going to go in here. What we're going to do is we're going to line it with foil so we don't ruin the
dish itself, okay.
I use a lot of oil. Now I'm just going to let this go around the pan. If we cut up some garlic, Bobby, do you want to cut up the thyme?
Okay, you're going to have to show me how to cut up the thyme.
Fabulous, just open the packet first.
Okay, I've got the thyme.
Fabulous. Now if you just want to trim the ends off.
Oh, okay, so
just,
like,
just make a powder of rosemary.
So how much are we looking for?
You probably want up to about here, you probably want about a third.
Oh, okay. So is that sort of what we're looking for?
Yeah, that's probably a good amount, Bobby. You probably wouldn't want much more than that.
How many sort of cloves of garlic are you putting in?
I'm putting in 4. Actually, you know what, this is a great time to teach you how to do it.
Okay, so I want to chop off the ends.
You want to chop off both ends, but you kind of want to pull off the end with your thumb as a flap.
Ah,
the skin.
I see, like that.
Yeah.
And the skin comes off with it.
And then the other skins should become a better. If the other skin doesn't come off, you might want to get your knife in there and you just want to cut like a chili pepper, to be honest. You just want to go and get little bits like that off. And then when you've got bits like that, you want to get them again and just sort of
dice along them as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You want really small chunks for this.
You want millimetres tops.
So you just want your potatoes to boil over on the hottest temperature, you don't need to...
Nope, just as hot as possible, boil for as long as possible. Actually, speaking of the oven, I'm going to turn it on because it'll take a while to warm up, and we're going to go to 190 on a normal oven.
Okay, so I've finished with my garlic and I've got my rosemary here.
Fabulous.
As well.
Now what we want to do is we want to put a small bed of this on the bottom, so about half the amount. You want to make a small bed. Then I want to put half the, maybe 2/3 of this in.
Okay, well do you want to put your section of garlic in?
So it can sit on the garlic and the garlic can float around in the duck fluids. The duck's white meat, so you definitely want to wash your hands after touching it, Bobby. Look at that. And that. And your duck legs want to go opposite ways. You also don't want this.
You don't want to bring any of the packaging in with you.
Just going to make sure that isn't, And you just want that opposite ways so they'll fit in best.
Sort of like
absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to throw this away and wash my hands.
That's okay.
And then we just want to put the thyme and the garlic on top.
So do we want to sprinkle it on?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'll keep it even, I guess.
Yeah, go for half the time now, then do some oil, then do half the time again. You basically want to drench the oil, the thing in it. Every inch of the top surface should be covered in oil. We can just finish, put the rest on. Sort of try and equal cover it if you can, but it's not too important at this stage. We're going to move things around later.
Okay, there you go.
And the time. Okay, that's that. One final thing, the 5 spice, and it complements the duck. That's gone in for an hour. Potatoes are boiling away, and all we have to do now is prepare the sauce, although the sauce doesn't take as long. We're going to clear up because we don't want to ruin, we want to make our housemates unhappy. So what we need to do now is get about half of that out.
Get about half of that.
You want to spoon half of that into there.
Okay. Oh, this is proper jelly, isn't it?
It's actual jelly. We melt our jelly, it's going to liquefy and mix with our wine.
Okay.
You want about half a jar of that and about half a bottle of wine. Mix it in with a little bit of acid and you're sorted.
Oh.
So the jelly is bubbling away, which means it's a little bit too hot. You want it as shallow as possible at this stage, just so it heats up very quickly. Well, I think this is bubbling away enough now, so I'm going to be a little bit generous with the wine.
Oh, that smells good. That's very
acidic, it's strong, it's nice, it's pure, it's full. And I'm just going to put about half the bottle in. There we go. And that's simmering away. We're going to want to mix the wine and the thing in. You just get little lumps of jelly in the wine, and it's just dissolving slowly into it. Eventually, this just disappears.
So the next thing we're going to do is going to prepare the
roasting tin for the potatoes. So this is going to go.
Just going to go in with the duck for now.
Shelf for the oven quickly because it just needs to heat up very quickly. It probably take about 5-10 minutes to heat up. The potatoes are basically done now, Bobby. They're soft, they're coming in, and they're staying on the knife. So we're going to take a colander or a sieve, I mean whatever you've got, guys, and we're just going to drain it.
Drain the potatoes out into the sink.
Yep, you want them as dry as possible at this point. Right, Bobby, do you want to use the things and
get the oil tray out?
Yeah,
for putting the potatoes
the
on?
roasting tin, yeah. Right, do you want to go and chop up some thyme quickly, Bobby, as well?
Some thyme again?
So, Bobby, that's the potatoes. They've just finished bubbling, which means they're pretty much not going to spit oil at you anymore. Going to get a bit of salt out and just sprinkle it over some of the potatoes.
Okay, so I've got some thyme.
That, just distribute it around all over the potatoes. And we're just going to put that in. And I'm going to swap them round now. I had the duck on the lower shelf, and I want to put the duck on the top shelf.
Okay, so we're going to leave both of those in now for about half an hour to 40 minutes.
The potatoes will be turned over in about 15 minutes, and then 15 minutes again. The duck will come out quarter to the hour, so that's an hour after it went in. And then the sauce should just be about done. I'm going to have to taste it. And then this will turn
how do you know when your sauce is done? I mean,
you know when it's complete. It should take about 15 to 20 minutes. And when there's absolutely no jelly in it anymore, and it's purely a red sauce, what it should be, it should just be a smooth red liquid that coats the duck.
Okay, so we want to take that off the heat now then.
If you could just turn it off, Bobby, but leave it on it, because we've got ages and it needs to stay warm.
Okay, that's fine.
And now we're just going to wait for it all to be done and come back in about 15. We're taking the potatoes because they're just about going to be on the turn of being crispy in the bottom. We need to make them good on both sides. And the duck's almost been in for an hour, so we're going to turn that over and have a look at that. They've gone brown on the bottom if you have a look, you see. And that's how you know they're done. Really hot, and we'll turn them over like that, Bobby. We're going to put that back in because I imagine the duck will want to be a little bit of a turning over. That's your duck. We're going to watch out on the juices. What I am going to do is just turn them over.
Oh, okay, so is that over?
That's cooked, but what we're going to do is just sort of crisp it up a bit.
Oh, okay.
But that is cooked. Right, This is going to be very hot. But we are looking at about 10 more minutes. Duck went in probably about an hour, 10 minutes ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour all of that into that.
Okay.
Apart from the duck, and then pour that into that.
So with your sauce, just gently
Drizzle it.
drizzle it over the top of the potatoes.
Now Bobby, if you just want to pour the wine all over the duck. Now we're just going to chuck them both in the oven at 190 for about 15 minutes. Should do them both, hopefully.
Okay, so it's been in there the full amount of time now.
And you do just cover the plate in a sauce. That'll do. And where's Bobby?
Okay.
Over the potatoes ideally.
Oh, fantastic.
And then you've got another bit of sauce there, which you can keep. Right
Okay.
now, you can just grab a potato and just chuck that there.
Should we try this?
But the duck is brilliant.
Oh my god.
You just know the duck's going to be brilliant. And that is why it's worth paying all the money. And she, that lucky lady, will be very, very impressed.
That is fantastic. So if you like what you've seen here, you can find the recipe on the website. That's it for this episode. I've been Bobby, this is Alex, and you've been watching StagTV.